Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare Lincoln penny coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're diving into a coin that you might have overlooked. Yes, we're talking about the United States 1-cent coin from 1982. This coin, which many people toss into a jar without a second thought, might just be worth a small fortune. Stick around to the end, because you won't believe the value of this little penny. Now, let's set the stage. The 1982 1-cent coin isn't just any regular penny. It's part of a significant year in the history of U.S. currency. This was the year when the U.S. Mint made a major change in the composition of the coin. Before 1982, pennies were made mostly of copper. But by the time 1982 rolled around, a new formula was introduced. Pennies started being made from a combination of copper and zinc. This change caused quite a stir, and as a result, there are two different types of 1982 pennies, copper and zinc. And that's where things start getting interesting. The copper version of the 1982 penny is incredibly rare, and finding one in excellent condition can put you in the money. But what really makes these pennies stand out is the possibility of minting errors. Some 1982 pennies were produced with very unique flaws, such as misprints, off-center strikes, and double-die errors. These mistakes make the coin even more valuable to collectors. One of the most exciting types of errors is the double-die obverse error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin has been improperly aligned during the minting process, causing the design to appear doubled. This type of error is highly sought after by collectors, as it's a rare occurrence and adds a lot of value to the coin, and if you're lucky enough to find a 1982 copper penny with a major minting mistake in pristine condition, then you're in for something special. These coins can be worth a lot more than just their face value. Now, here's the kicker: the price. If you have one of these rare 1982 copper pennies with an error in uncirculated condition, it could be worth a jaw-dropping $45,000. Yes, you heard that right, $45,000 for a single penny. So, the next time you're going through your pocket change or digging through that jar of old coins, take a close look at your 1982 pennies. You might just have a hidden treasure worth thousands of dollars. Top 2, we're uncovering a hidden gem in American currency, the 1976 1-cent coin. Now, this isn't just any penny. The 1976 penny is part of a unique year in U.S. coinage, and if you have one of these in your collection, it might be worth a lot more than you think. Stick with me to the end, because I'm about to reveal just how much this little penny could fetch you. First, let's talk about why 1976 was such a special year for U.S. coins. It marked the 200th anniversary of American independence, and to commemorate that, there were some big changes in the way coins were minted. The 1976 1-cent coin is often overlooked because it looks pretty similar to the standard pennies of that time. However, this coin actually has some fascinating features that can make it highly valuable. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a penny. But here's the twist: there's a specific error with the 1976 1-cent that makes it incredibly rare. Some 1976 pennies were struck with a double-die error, meaning that the image on the coin is doubled. This happens when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, leading to the design appearing twice, which is definitely not something you see every day. And guess what? If you find one of these double-die pennies, it could be worth a whole lot more than face value, but that's not all. Another major factor that increases the value of this coin is its rarity. While many 1976 pennies were produced, only a small number have survived in mint condition or with these rare errors intact. Most of these coins went through heavy circulation, so finding one in excellent condition, especially one with an error, is a real treasure. So, here's the big reveal: if you have a 1976 1-cent coin with a double-die error in mint condition, it could be worth an unbelievable $67,000. That's right, $67,000 for a single penny. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd definitely be checking through my old pennies after hearing that. If you find one of these rare coins, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. Top 3, we're talking about a coin that might be sitting in your collection right now, the 1983 1-cent coin. This seemingly ordinary penny could actually be worth a small fortune, but only if you know what to look for. Let's dive into why this particular penny is so valuable, and how it could bring in an unbelievable amount of money. 1983 was a pivotal year for U.S. coins. This was the year when the U.S. Mint made a change in the material used for pennies. The traditional copper was replaced by a copper-plated zinc core, which caused quite a stir. The result? 2 different types of 1983 pennies, the regular copper-plated zinc version, and a rare error coin made of solid copper. Yes, that's right, a solid copper 1983 penny, which was mistakenly struck and is incredibly rare. This coin was never meant to be made from pure copper, which is why it's such a rare and valuable find today. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Some of these 1983 copper pennies were produced with significant minting errors. The most common and valuable error is a double die strike. This happens when the die used to strike the coin has a misalignment, making the design appear doubled. If you find one of these with the double die error in great condition, it could increase the value significantly, but rarity isn't the only thing that makes this penny special. The 1983 copper penny is just that, rare. Most of the 1983 pennies were struck correctly with the copper-plated zinc, so finding one made of pure copper is like finding a needle in a haystack. Even more so if it's in uncirculated or near-perfect condition. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. If you have one of these rare 1983 copper pennies, it could be worth an eye-popping $58,000. That's right, $58,000 for a single penny. So, the next time you're sifting through your loose change or going through a jar of old pennies, make sure to keep an eye out for this rare 1983 copper penny. Who knows? You could be holding onto something that's worth a small fortune. Top 4, we're talking about the 1993 1-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary penny, but it could actually be worth a small fortune. That's right, this coin could be sitting right in your collection or hiding in your change jar, and it might be worth a lot more than you expect. Stick around, because I'm going to show you how much this little penny could be worth and how to spot the rare ones that are worth big money. The 1993 penny might not seem like anything special at first glance, but let me tell you, it has a lot of surprises hidden within. To understand why this coin is so valuable, let's first take a quick look at the history of the 1993 1-cent coin. The U.S. Mint had been using the same basic design on pennies for decades. This year was no exception, and the 1993 penny was minted with the famous Abraham Lincoln portrait on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But the story doesn't end there. The real value of the 1993 penny lies in its rarity and the potential for errors. While most of these pennies were minted in large quantities and are relatively easy to find, certain 1993 pennies were struck with significant minting errors that can make them highly valuable. So what kind of errors are we talking about? Well, let me tell you about the 2 most common and exciting errors that can make a 1993 penny worth a lot more than just 1 cent. First, there's the double die error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin doesn't align properly, causing the design to be stamped multiple times. As a result, you get a coin where the design appears slightly doubled, which is a very noticeable and highly sought-after feature. For collectors, finding a 1993 penny with a double die error is like finding a hidden treasure. These coins are much rarer than standard ones, and as you might imagine, they are worth far more, but that's not the only error that could be lurking in your 1993 pennies. Another error that can increase the coin's value is the off-center strike. This occurs when the penny isn't properly aligned with the die during the minting process, leading to an off-center image. This kind of error is rare and often makes the coin stand out visually, which is why collectors love it. If you happen to find a 1993 penny with an off-center strike, you could be looking at a coin that's worth a pretty penny, pun intended. Now, let's talk about condition. The key to maximizing the value of your 1993 penny is the coin's condition. While many pennies from this year were heavily circulated, finding one that's in mint condition or, better yet, uncirculated, can make a huge difference in its value. If the penny has sharp details, no wear or discoloration, and is still shiny, it's going to be much more valuable than a coin that's been worn down from years of USE.SO. What's the big payoff for finding one of these rare, error-filled pennies in excellent condition? Here's the jaw-dropping part. If you have a 1993 1-cent coin with a rare minting error, or if it's in uncirculated condition, it could be worth a mind-blowing $51,000. Yes, you heard that right, $51,000 for a single penny. That's a lot of money for something you'd normally toss in your pocket without a second thought. Imagine going through a collection of old pennies or finding a coin in your spare change that could make you thousands of dollars. It sounds unbelievable, but it's absolutely true. So, before you toss that 1993 penny into the jar, take a moment to inspect it closely. You just might be holding onto a coin that could change your life, and don't forget, while the 1993 penny is the star of today's video, there are countless other coins out there with similar stories. If you love finding rare coins and learning how to spot those hidden treasures, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on a new discovery. Top 5, we have something really exciting to talk about that could completely change how you look at your pocket change. We're diving into the world of the 1981 cent coin, a seemingly ordinary penny that holds a big secret. It could be worth far more than just 1 cent. Stick with me to the end, because I'm going to reveal exactly why this penny could be worth thousands, and even how to spot the rare ones that could make you a small fortune. The 1980 penny might not be a coin you'd give a second thought to, right? It's the same as any other penny, Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But, here's where the excitement begins. This particular year, 1980, is not just another run-of-the-mill penny. What many don't realize is that there are some serious factors that make the 1980 penny highly valuable to collectors, and most people have no idea. One of the most important things to know about this coin is that it's part of a transitional period in U.S. minting history. By 1980, the U.S. Mint was already dealing with significant shifts in the composition of pennies. The penny was still primarily made of copper, but the world was heading into the era where coins started becoming more mixed with zinc. This makes the 1980 penny special in that it falls in a unique place in history, where most pennies from this time were copper, but it's the very last few years before the transition would officially begin. But let's not stop there. The real goldmine here is in the potential errors, which is where the true value lies for this coin. Yes, error coins can be worth a lot, and the 1980 penny is no exception. There are a few key errors to look for that could push the value of this penny from a simple cent to an absolute treasure. One of the most sought-after errors for the 1980 penny is the famous double die error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, causing the design to appear twice, making the coin look doubled. If you find a 1980 penny with this error, you've hit the jackpot. Double die coins are highly prized by collectors because they are rare and unique, making them stand out from the typical run-of-the-mill coins. The more pronounced and obvious the doubling is, the more valuable the coin becomes. Another error to look out for is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin isn't properly aligned during the minting process, and the design is struck off-center. This type of error gives the coin a unique and imperfect look, making it a highly collectible piece. The more extreme the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin could be. Let's talk about condition for a second. As with all rare coins, the condition of the coin can greatly affect its value. While most of the 1980 pennies you'll find in circulation are worn down and damaged, if you happen to come across one that's in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth a lot more than you'd expect. The sharper the details, the better the value, especially when combined with any minting errors or unique characteristics. So, let's break it down. What could a 1980 penny be worth? If you happen to find a 1980 penny that has one of these rare minting errors, especially if it's in excellent condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Are you ready for this? A single 1980 penny, in pristine condition with an error, could be worth an astounding $59,000. Yes, you heard me correctly, $59,000 for a single penny. Imagine that, just one penny, hidden in your change jar, could be worth more than some people's cars. It's crazy to think about, but it's true. So, before you toss that 1980 penny into your jar, take a closer look. You could be holding onto something that's worth more than you ever imagined. Top 6, we're talking about the 1985 1-cent coin. It may seem like just another penny, but trust me, this coin has the potential to be worth way more than its face value. Stick around till the end because I'm about to reveal how this humble penny could make you a small fortune. So, let's start with the basics. The 1985 penny is part of a standard issue of coins, with the classic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse and President Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse. But what makes this coin stand out? Well, it's all about its rarity and the possibility of finding one with minting errors that make it much more valuable to collectors. Now, don't get me wrong, the 1985 penny was minted in large quantities, so it's not exactly rare on its own. However, what makes it a real treasure for collectors are the errors that can occur during the minting process. The most exciting part? If you have one of these error pennies in your possession, you might be sitting on a small fortune. Let's talk about some of the key errors that can turn a 1985 penny into a valuable find. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin becomes misaligned, causing the design to appear twice on the coin, making it look doubled. If you find a 1985 penny with this type of error, it's a big deal in the numismatic world. Coins with double die errors are always in demand, and they can fetch a much higher price than a standard penny, but that's not the only error to look for. Another fascinating minting mistake is the off-center strike. This happens when the penny isn't properly aligned with the die, causing the design to be struck off-center. An off-center strike can make a coin look unique, almost like a one-of-a-kind piece. The more extreme the off-center error, the higher the value of the coin. If you find a 1985 penny with a noticeable off-center strike, you've found a true rarity that collectors will pay top dollar for. Now, let's talk about condition. Condition is key when it comes to coin collecting, and the 1985 penny is no exception. Most pennies you find from this year have been circulated and are often worn down. However, if you find one in excellent condition, especially one that's been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition, its value can increase dramatically. The sharper the details, the more desirable the coin becomes. Coins that have been preserved in near-perfect condition are highly sought after by collectors, and they can fetch much higher prices. So, here's the exciting part. Just how much could a 1985 penny with an error or in pristine condition be worth? You'll be shocked to hear this, but a rare 1985 penny, especially with a minting error or in top condition, could be worth a staggering $55,000. Yes, you heard that right, $55,000 for a single penny. Imagine finding a coin that you've had lying around for years and realizing it could be worth more than some cars. It sounds unbelievable, but this is the world of coin collecting, where small treasures like this 1985 penny can turn into big paydays. So, the next time you come across a 1985 penny, take a closer look. If it's in good condition, or if you spot any errors like the double die or off-center strike, you might have just found your ticket to a small fortune. Top 7 and last rare coin. We're uncovering the secrets behind a coin that could be hiding in your pocket or collection, and it's worth a lot more than just 1 cent. That's right, we're talking about the 1977 1-cent coin. This little penny might seem ordinary at first glance, but don't be fooled, there are hidden treasures in the world of coins, and this one could be worth a small fortune. Stick around, because I'm about to tell you exactly why this coin could be your ticket to a huge payday. First, let's start by taking a look at the 1977 penny. Like most of the US pennies minted in the 70s, this coin features the famous Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side and Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse. It was part of a larger batch of coins produced in the late 70s, a time when the US Mint was minting billions of pennies. So what makes this coin so valuable, considering so many of them were produced? The answer lies in rarity. Even though the 1977 penny was minted in large numbers, over time, a significant number of them were lost, damaged, or heavily worn from circulation. The key here is that finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition is rare, very rare. Most pennies you'll come across have seen decades of wear and tear. But if you happen to find a 1977 penny in near-perfect condition, you could be holding onto a hidden gem. The better the condition, the higher the value. Now, let's talk about errors, because this is where things get really exciting. As with many coins, the 1977 penny wasn't immune to minting mistakes. These errors are what make some of these coins incredibly valuable to collectors. One of the most common, and most valuable, errors you can find on the 1977 penny is the double die error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin doesn't align properly, causing the image to appear twice or more. The result? A double image of Lincoln or the memorial, making the coin unique and highly desirable. Collectors go crazy for double die errors, and if you manage to find a 1977 penny with one of these mistakes, you could be in for a major payday. But there's more. Another rare error to look out for is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin isn't properly aligned with the die, causing the design to be off-center. This error is not only rare but gives the coin a unique, irregular appearance that collectors find fascinating. The more extreme the off-center error, the more valuable the coin. Let's also not forget about the material. While most of the 1977 pennies are made of copper, there are instances where minting errors or special production techniques can result in slight variations in metal composition. These oddities are highly collectible and can significantly increase a coin's value. So, now that you know about the rarity and potential errors, let's get to the most exciting part. How much could a 1977 penny actually be worth? If you're lucky enough to have a 1977 penny with an error, or one that's in perfect, uncirculated condition, you could be sitting on a fortune. Are you ready for this? A 1977 penny, with the right errors or in pristine condition, could be worth an incredible $69,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $69,000 for a single penny. It's incredible to think that something as small and ordinary as a penny could be worth so much, but that's the world of coin collecting. If you've been holding onto a 1977 penny and didn't know its value, it might just be time to take a closer look. With a bit of luck and a keen eye for detail, you could be holding a rare, error-filled coin that could bring you a small fortune. So, before you toss that 1977 penny into a jar or your change pile, give it a closer look. Check for any minting errors, examine the condition, and if you think it might be valuable, get it appraised. If you found this video fascinating and want to learn more about rare coins and their incredible values, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on future discoveries. Thanks for watching, and remember, always check your change. You never know when you might find a treasure worth thousands. Happy collecting!